Stage 4, active karma completion. I understand the pattern. I've done the work and I am living differently. And the old magnetic pull no longer has the same charge. I'm now met with the same lesson. And I'm like, no thanks. Burning karma is exactly the right language here, okay? The experience and digestion of the karma until it no longer has a hold on you, a threat on you. So the person encounters the old trigger, and you might feel a familiar pull, but you're not compelled to complete it. You might be like, I've seen this song and dance. I'm just not interested. Viktor Frankl called this pause the location of human freedom, where you have the freedom to make decisions from an elevated level of consciousness, not a compulsion. This is where your work becomes real and usable in real life. Burning karma is not comfortable. If you've really done this work, it involves consciously choosing the harder thing. Your ego might still resist. It's going to feel unfamiliar. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but you're choosing to show up regularly. You're doing things that your former self in stage 1 through 3 could never have done. Now, psychologically, what's happening here, this is mapped onto Jungian analysis, Marion Woodman, which is the embodiment of self. I love this. Not just knowing who you are at the level of insight, but actually living from that knowing in the body, in the relationship and daily choice. The shadow is not eliminated. Okay, we're not a Mashiach over here. It's known and it's integrated and it's not being projected. In somatic terms, okay, the somatic nervous system, this is repatterning yourself at a cellular level. Remember stage 1, we're living from our nervous system development and we don't know any better. This is, you have done the work to form new neurological pathways that have been built through repetitive conscious choice in stage 3. Okay, so the relationship pattern, if you're still in a relationship at this point, you're both showing up differently. And the relationship rises to meet this new frequency that you've both developed energetically, or it's going to end. Both people, if you are in a relationship, need to meet this frequency change. It's like a radio, a walkie-talkie. One of you switches the channels and you level up. If the other person's on it, you're going to miss the connection. Okay, there's nothing to do here if one of you is doing the work and one of you is not. Okay, this is a lot of times also, by the way, where divorce happens, breakups happen. Something happens where one person's like, I can't keep living like this. They do the work, the other person's not listening, and guess what? The debt's paid, the lesson is learned for you, and the relationship ends. Now, doesn't always feel good, and your relationship ending, let's say you go through a divorce because you've karmically changed yourself, that actual divorce could be the trigger for that other person to grow. You don't know, you don't need to know, but if you're like, oh, I'm leaving them behind, I feel bad, it might be in their soul contract with you, with them, with their self, that they need this heavy realization to end the marriage, the relationship, to be able to level up. Doesn't mean you're not going to have grief or sadness. So I'm going to be very clear here. The Vedic teachers teach us that every karmic seed that's planted needs to be burned. You cannot get away from it. The seed that you planted will turn into a fruit, whether that's a delicious fruit or something that's going to really cost you. Stage 4 is telling you that you have to make this choice, burn it, arrive at it consciously. Okay, you're going to feel the full weight of the old pattern. You understand what it cost you to make those choices to lead you in here today. How are you choosing differently in your future? Now, the shadow of stage 4 is a premature declaration. And I struggled with this. The person decides that they have burned the karma before they actually have, because the work is hard and they want it to be done. Karmic cords are not going to release until they are able to. Real karma doesn't surprise you. You see it coming. You're no longer compelled by what you see, but it's hard. It's hard to get out of that, okay? You might be like, I learned my lesson. I want out. But if you do this the right way, you will prevent yourself from repeating this cycle very, very painfully. There might be grief. There might be rage. You might have profound tiredness. Some people have expressed that they have like depressive symptoms. And this is karma completing. We're like, I got into this. I see why I got into it. I've changed. I've done the work. When am I going to be released? And a lot of times the karmic snap that we have in relationships where it's like, hey, this is not affecting me anymore. This is a physical experience when you're in stage 4. The snap has happened, tired, grief, and you just want it to be over, but you're not quite out of the woods yet. So the invitation forward for stage 5 is that you're free from compulsion. The question becomes, now that I am not being driven by the past, what do I actually want to choose? What do I want to choose in that stage 5?